Hello and welcome back. I am excited to share another one of my journeys with you. This is the tale of the awakening Adirondacks. Do you ever wake up with a feeling in your antlers that something big is coming? I know I'm just a moose. But I'm not just any moose. I'm Michael Moose. Proud, grumpy, good-hearted, and I say this with all the modesty a moose can manage, probably the most stubborn creature this side of the Adirondacks. I live in the deep whispering woods of northern New York, towering pines, moss-covered rocks, cool lakes that steam in the morning chill. It's a place where you can walk for days and not see another soul. I like it that way, peaceful. Predictable, until one morning, everything changed. It started with a dream. I was standing in a valley I didn't recognize. The sky was red. Not sunset red, something stranger, like fire behind thick smoke. And a voice low, echoing, kind of like it came from inside a cave was, calling my name. Michael Moose. I don't usually remember my dreams, but this one stuck like pine sap. It smelled of ash and snow. My fur bristled when I woke up, even though the morning sun was warm through the trees. Now, a smarter moose might have ignored it, but not me. My gut told me something was off. And when your gut's been through as many winters and wolf encounters as mine, you learn to trust it. So I left. I packed a small satchel. Yes, moose can wear satchels, don't laugh. Filled it with dried berries, maple bark jerky, and one lucky rock I've had since I was a calf. Then I headed west, deeper into the Adirondack wilderness, towards something I didn't understand yet. I was halfway down a steep ridge near Moose River when I heard it crashing, splashing, yelling. And I mean real yelling, not the kind of warning call birds give. This was panicked, full-on, I'm in big trouble, yelling. I galloped toward the sound, antlers ducked under branches, hooves pounding the leaf-covered ground. At the edge of Beaver Lake, I found the source, a raccoon. Not just any raccoon, Roscoe. That little bandit and I go way back. He once tried to sell me a map he drew with mud on birch bark and claimed it led to a hidden beaver treasure. I didn't buy it, but we'd been friends ever since. Michael, he gasped, struggling in the water. There's something in the lake. I snorted. You're the one splashing like a loon. What are you talking about? Shadow, he cried, clawing his way onto the muddy bank. A black shape big, moved under the surface. It looked like it was hunting me. Now, I'm no expert in underwater monsters, but I know when someone's genuinely scared, and Roscoe was soaked and shaking like a sapling in a storm. I stepped to the edge and peered in. At first, nothing. Then I saw it a ripple, then another, and then a shape. Dark, wide, moving just below the surface, circling back. I didn't wait to see more. Back, I bellowed. Back away. We scrambled up the slope, Roscoe still wheezing and coughing. Thanks, Mike, he said. I owe you one. You owe me 12, Roscoe, I muttered. But who's counting? Where are you headed anyway? I hesitated. Should I tell him? West, I finally said. Had a dream. Something's pulling me. Roscoe tilted his head. A dream, huh? That sounds dangerous. You're gonna need backup. I raised an eyebrow. You volunteering? Don't look so surprised, Mike. Danger's my middle name. He winked. Well, actually, it's Francis, but you get the idea. I rolled my eyes, but truth be told, I was glad not to be going alone. The forest grew stranger the farther west we went. Trees bent in odd directions. Fog settled even under the bright sun. And sometimes we heard things. Distant howls. Whispers. Once, a deep thud like something huge stepping through the woods. We met a turtle named Tansy along the way on Old Soul, who lived near a bubbling spring hidden behind a waterfall. Tansy had seen things. She told us about animals forgetting where they were, rivers that reversed for a day, birds flying in circles. Something stirring in the roots, she whispered, eyes half shut. Old magic. angry magic. I felt it in my antlers. On the third night, we camped under a leaning pine near a narrow ravine. As I dozed off, Roscoe nudged me. "Look," he whispered. Across the ravine, a deer stood on a rock, staring right at us. Its eyes glowed faintly green. It didn't move, didn't blink. Then, slowly, it turned and walked into the fog. We didn't sleep much after that. By the time we reached the old cedar grove near Black Bear Hollow, my hooves ached and Roscoe had eaten all the jerky. But we weren't alone. Waiting for us was someone I hadn't seen in years, a fox named Lila. Smart, sharp, knew the woods better than anyone. She looked older, but her eyes still sparkled like cold water. "Michael Moose," she said with a grin. "Figured you'd come." "You? Knew?" She nodded. "The dreams, they're spreading. You're not the only one." We sat around her fire, and she told us everything. There was a valley, hidden between cliffs near the edge of the high peaks. No animal went there anymore, not since the shadows came. A darkness was seeping, out-twisting creatures, bending light, making the earth sick. And worse, the voice in our dreams? It was a warning. Something ancient was waking, and it knew my name. I should have turned back. Any sensible moose would, but I couldn't. Not with creatures in danger. Not with the forest I loved slowly falling under a shadow. We traveled together now. Lila led us through secret paths. We crossed rivers where the fish no longer swam, climbed cliffs where birds flew silent. The world was changing. In the ruins of an old logging camp, we found strange carving symbols etched into wood that pulsed when we touched them. In a meadow where no sun reached, we met a bear named Orin, once a guardian of ancient places, now half-blind but still wise. "You will be tested," he said, brushing moss off a boulder. "Not in strength, but in spirit. This thing in the valley, it breaks minds before it breaks bodies." And then we found it. Shadow Valley. It looked wrong. The air was thick. The sky above was dark, even though it was noon. Trees grew sideways. Rocks floated. Yes, floated, like they were underwater, drifting. In the center of the valley was a stone platform. On it stood a creature made of smoke and bone. It had no face, just glowing green eyes. It spoke. "Michael Moose, you have come." I stepped forward. "You're the voice. I am the echo. The memory. The warning. What do you want?" It pointed a bony claw at the sky. "Balance. The world shifts. The wild fades. I rise to restore." Roscoe whispered, "That sounds bad." Lila growled, "You mean control." The shadow creature turned to her. "I bring order to chaos." "The forest isn't chaos," I said. "It's life. Wild, yes, but beautiful." "Then stop me," it hissed. The ground cracked. Shadows spilled like ink. I lowered my antlers and charged. It was like hitting wind and fire, but I kept going. Behind me, Roscoe threw stones. Lila danced in and out, slashing with her claws. Tansy the turtle appeared from the mist and began to hum soft, slow, but the vibrations cut through the smoke. We fought not with fury, but with purpose, with heart. And slowly, the shadows began to retreat. The creature screamed not loud, but deep, like trees snapping. I don't remember the final blow, just light, a great wind, and silence. When I woke, the valley was normal. The sky was blue, the platform empty. Lila smiled. Roscoe hugged me, which I did not enjoy, thank you very much. Even Tansy shed a tear and tucked back into her shell. We had stopped it. For now. And that voice still whispers sometimes. But I'm ready. Because I'm Michael Moose. And this is my forest. The end. Ah, that was one of my craziest adventures. What was your favorite part? Let me know down below, and as always, I hope to see you again soon.